My
Vata Shvaka is out. You blew a smoke and you came in like a fucking ghost.
That was the intent.
Yeah. You look like the fucking thing that gave the Power Rangers their fucking mission for Mighty Morphin.
Papa got a brand new pasito. What can I say?
Fucking asshole. Fucking douchebag. Welcome to Culture Vulture Radio, your Saturday night show where we sit there and go over fucking week's events and try to entertain you. I think he disappeared again. He might be blowing another fucking smoke. Oh, and he comes back with another ghost. Wow. What the fuck? All right, well, this is the pig show. I mean, the fucking Tiki show now. So now we're all going to sit here and just watch Tiki fucking yell into the mic. What the fuck is going on? Holy shit. Anyway, this is Culture Vulture Radio. I'm your host, Connor. Joined with me is Sean.
What's up? And this is Tiki saying hello. There you go. Bye, Tiki. Love you.
Yep, she said it back. Before we get started, and we have a couple things to get into, but like, subscribe, share this out there on all your platforms. Also, fucking ticker on the bottom, buymeacoffee.com/culturevultureradio, where you can sit there and donate if you want.
Connor prefers Rufinol in his coffee.
I prefer Rufinol, and the weird thing is I like to go home and take advantage of myself. So it's not like you're needed for anything.
How does
extra.
that work? So you take Rufinol and then you go home and just pass out with your hand on your pants and just expect that you had a great time.
No, no. Well, I know I had a great time because my shirt stuck to my chest.
Yeah, but how do you do that when you pass out? Dude, is that a screwdriver?
No, it's a Manhattan.
You have to run and do your screwdrivers like a pussy. I'm a stud. I do them out in the open.
You sit there and you suck dick in the gym behind the machines. I do it in the open. I'm a stud. I don't need to ask permission to suck dick.
Imagine I tell you, it's the 70s and there's some dude sucking a dick and he's just massive. And it's like, bro, you sucking a dick? He's like, yeah, what about it? It's like, nothing. Carry on.
What's it to you, motherfucker?
Cup those balls, though. You're not doing a great job. You could do better.
I mean, you're being kind of fucking weird.
You're being selfish, too, with that.
You're being a piece of shit. You're not giving him a reach around. Hey, Danny, is there a reach around? Anyway, before we get started, I also want to give a special shout out to Kevin from Grandma's Way podcast. Recently, he's my age, diagnosed with MS, and he's been in the fucking hospital. And his brother was nice enough to bring him up all of his podcast. I don't know how he did it, but he got all of his podcasting equipment into the hospital, and he
Kevin, I wish you the best, man. Wish you the absolute best with that, man.
He did an episode from his bed, which I thought was a baller ass fucking move.
Fucking baller move.
But I texted him today because I haven't heard from him in a week, and I know he was going to a rehab to learn how to like walk and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that he's fine. And Kevin, if you see this, just fucking reach back out to me on Twitter.
You rock, brother. You fucking rock, dude.
Dude fucking rules. A couple other things, man. America is kind of
not that great.
Yeah, we're kind of really fucked. We have a
we're all right. We kind of suck for the most part.
We kind of suck right
now.
As
and people, we suck as a continent, not really a shared continent. We kind of just suck. We take up a lot of land, and we really just kind of suck. What are you drinking there? What you got? What's in that glass?
It's a Manhattan's.
Oh, so no, the screwdriver. I was referring to what you were putting up.
Because I lost my
snooter dooter. But what were you using? What is your
screwdriver
tool of choice?
Screwdriver. Okay. I lost my.
Is that an S1 or a P1 screwdriver?
It's a Phillies.
Is it? It was a flat. Well,
Philly's
the type, but the size.
Oh, I don't know the size.
S1. You don't know your size, bro. You're Irish. You should know. It's like tuna can, mayonnaise lid.
Can. Irish curse, all that shit. All right. Yeah, but either way, we are a shitty continent, and we have shit people who live here, shit people to the north, shit people to the south, and
we take up a lot of land too.
And for some reason, on the West Coast, there is a very weird group of people who just think that they deserve to be paid more for their shitty work. And I, of course, am talking about Hollywood.
One day stronger! One day longer! One day stronger! The struggle that we're facing is exactly the same thing that's happening to workers all across America. The people at the top are keeping more of the wealth generated by our work to themselves. And
fuck this guy.
Yeah, he's annoying.
Fuck this guy.
But
he did
also, what's his last name? Conover,
Adam Conover. Yeah. He did. First off, let me preface it before we get further in the story by saying, people, when you see celebrities at these things, they don't fucking care. The quicker you fucking learn that, the better off you're going to be. They don't care. They don't really give a shit.
Talking about like
all of them,
like
any
environmentalists,
everything, every single one of them. Like when that pipeline shit went off.
Why would they care? It's all about making money.
Yeah, it's all about an image. So like 6 years ago, or 8 years ago, whatever it was now, where that pipeline thing happened, and then Mark Ruffalo went there and supposedly got shot in the face by a beanbag shotgun or pelt, and he didn't. He just had fake blood on his cheek, and it turned out he lied. They don't give a shit. This is how they make fucking movies. Yep. By the way, when he did that shit, he was also at the height of the fucking Avengers movie, playing the worst character. By the way, the Avengers movies fucking suck. Dude, those movies aren't good at all. It's just superhero jerk-off worship.
Real quick story, So, had a neighbor that used to live here, older lady, and she.
You gotta say quick story like Andrew Cuomo. Quick story, real quick. My mother.
Quick story, real quick. Anyway, older neighbor that lived here, and she's like, "You never seen any of the DC movies, Marvel movies?" I said, "No." She's like, "Oh my god, there's a timeline. You got to watch them in certain order." And I was like, kind of like not even paying attention to her because, whatever. She's like, "Oh, I'll write you out."
Because it's embarrassing that an older woman told you that.
I didn't care about it, and she kept going into it, and she's like, "I'll write you out a timeline." I say, "I didn't care about it," so. I get a knock on my door like a couple hours later. I open up, it's this woman with a handwritten fucking piece of paper with a timeline, a literal timeline from start to beginning about how I need to watch this movie and this movie and then this movie. But if you go back and rewatch this movie, then it makes more sense. But you still need to watch it, twice. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. Oh my God, you put so much work in this. This is great. And she, I closed the door on her and just wrinkled it up and threw it in the garbage. I know you put so much work into it, but I don't give a shit. And you made it even worse. You made your experience like I will never watch those movies straight through. I've watched a couple. I watched Captain America and fucking Thor and all that stupid shit, but she just made it seem like such a fucking chore that I was like, no, I don't care. Fuck that. Fuck it.
It is a
Sorry.
fucking chore, though. No, it is. First off, I'm not spending. They had that stupid. Oh fuck! This is during the height of that fucking horrible thing they call the movie, the whole whatever it is, the fucking 50 movies they put out. Um, they were like, somebody will pay you $10,000 to watch everything in order at one shot. Dude, I
10,000 is kind of low.
yeah,
That's,
it's not
that.
enough
Yeah,
to watch some
that's not enough.
shitty
Yeah,
series of
I was
movies.
just gonna say 10,000. Yeah, all right.
What
Yeah,
what
I would
a
do it, but
weird
if I didn't have the time to do it
fucking
that week, I wouldn't do it.
what a weird fucking offer. And I was like, dude, no, like who the fuck? First off, I've never seen it. Like I said, never seen any of them at all.
It was probably like Marvel and DC. Like, I'll give you 10,000 to watch my movies, please, please.
The only thing I ever
They
watched,
probably do slay though. I'm not gonna lie, they probably are good. I'm not the whole thing from front to back with all the timelines. That's a lot of effort. Maybe it's cool if you're that super fucking fan, but they probably are good. Like I've seen Thor. Thor's all right. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. Those superhero movies are never that. Like I go back watch the original Superman 1 and 2. They're good, but like still like cheesy. It's not like a Shawshank Redemption or like a something. They're it has a time and place. Like you're looking for a thriller where it's like not the greatest acting.
it's like going back and watching a fucking Will Ferrell movie. When you come out at the time, they're fucking hilarious, and then you go back and watch, you're like, this guy really wasn't that funny, and they kind of push
I
him in your
was
fucking
never
face.
the biggest Will Ferrell fan. I
He's good
liked
for
him.
old school.
You liked him.
Yeah, I liked
growing
him.
up, and I think the older you got, the less you liked him because
Yeah.
now I think you were a big fan of Elf, and you recently went back and watched it.
No,
Now
it
you're
was
not.
never Elf. It was the SNL skit with Christopher Walken. I thought it was funny. And then the only
Oh,
movie,
that's a Gene Frankel.
yeah, Gene Frankel.
Yeah, it's not that funny.
But it's all right for the time. But it's just
Yeah.
it sucks, and then he sucks, and all that shit. But anyway, let's get
Especially-
back.
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. So we got
no.
really diverted.
No, you're
we
fine.
got really diverted. Go ahead. Let's listen to Adam pushover.
Yeah. Quick, like I said, quick thing. Like these people, these celebrities out here, there's a reason why he's in front of the camera and not in the front. They don't give a shit. They're putting their face out there so you know who they are. This dude hasn't had anything since what was that fucking really stupid show he had? Adam Ruins, whatever. Adam Ruins the Internet.
This
and then
guy, this guy had a show.
Yeah, and then he
Didn't
did the
even
Joe Rogan podcast, and he looked like a fucking idiot on the Joe
What do you
Rogan.
mean? He did like one episode of Joe Rogan.
He did one episode, and that's all he got to do because he looked like such an idiot. He had to walk back all of his statements. So he's a fucking idiot, and all these celebrities don't care. They don't give a shit. I don't care.
I
As a
don't. I
result-
just don't care.
I just don't care.
Average Americans cannot afford to make a living.
There's so many like actors that you don't even think about when you watch a program. It's like it's a huge ecosystem of people. It's not like I'm on the sidelines not doing anything and I want a piece of it. We're all participants in this that make these things, then make them loads of money. It's basically like having plants and not watering them. And just being like, we gave you some water, you should be happy.
It's unfair that we have to sit here and ask to be compensated.
So what movie was she in? I've never seen her.
We were
Rogers.
what we used to get.
What'd you say,
I
Mimi
visited my
Rogers?
last show in this building, and then I had the premiere for that show
We're
in
old.
this building.
We don't
You
know
know how
actors
much
and
I got in
actresses.
I know.
residuals for the first full year of that
You
show
straight up
airing?
admitted
My
it.
work, the show I created, I got $500 for 3 years of work, making
I'm
six.
sure he got
What?
$500. Hold on.
Back
Hold on.
that
No. Hold on. He probably got $500. And he said in residuals, which means he didn't get syndicated. But remember, he also did one of those vitamin water commercials or a water commercial, and he was on every commercial like Verizon for 3 or 4 years when he had that show. I'm
I
sure
don't
he
even know
made
who-
out.
I don't know who this guy is.
I could pull a commercial up
episodes of show that
later
made it
on
for
after the
entire
show.
year.
After the show, I'll pull it up.
Well, we'll pull it up in the background right now. And
Every
show
single
this.
person on this picket line has a story just like that, and that is why we are out here.
People are going to be affected all across the board. So it's not just a bunch of performers hoping to get a bunch of money. It's just a basic living wage. And we want to think about pension. We want to think about health care. And to get health care, you have to work a
So
certain
this
amount
brings
of
up a
days.
bunch of questions.
they
How do you
get
bring up
AI
a
in,
basic
take
living
pictures
wage
of
and
all the
pension
background
health care for people that
then
are
use them
actors?
for
You'd have to join a
liquidity.
union, but like that's a
But that's the
horrible
problem
union
is
to-
they are in a union. What do you think the Screen Actors Guild is? They pay into that.
Yeah, but you have to get the best of the best to be in that. Also, I feel like to be the union half of that, not the actors half. How does that work? Because so many people are like out of work all the time. You have to be the best of the best. So like I feel like it would be like very selective. Like you could barely even get into that because otherwise, union. How's the union even surviving? How's it? You know, just I don't know. A lot of things like that don't make sense. You got a lot of these people that are just out of work for so long and they're just like nobodies. There's like thousands of actors and actresses that you don't see that do commercials and do little like once airs and like Law and Order or whatever. I don't even think that show's on anymore. But my point is they're just kind of just like in and out and they expect to get union benefits. Like it's weird. Like we work. Well, people in the union work every day to get these benefits. They work 5 days a week. For these people to get benefits in the union, they would have to work like at least 1 day a week. But do you really do a commercial a week, a show a week, an episode a week?
No, I think this more comes down.
Like,
So this
I
more
don't know
comes down to
how a union works and like acting or actresses. Like that just makes I don't know how that works. Acting.
So this really started off from the writers are striking, the people who write, they're striking. There was I have another video. There was a video where they tried to negotiate something for a contract. It fell through because
so
they're
it's a
asking way too much
writer's
money,
strike,
and all of a sudden the actors were like, "Oh, let's jump on it." Fran Drescher made sure she went out to Italy and she made a television appearance for her show during the strike, and then said, "Oh, well, now I'm joining the strike." So they don't really give a shit, and now the actors are joining. They're like, "We're not going to make another movie until you get this contract." Dude, I'm fine with that. If I don't have to hear, I hope it doesn't end. If I don't have to hear from celebrities, if there's not another shitty movie that comes out for the rest of the year,
I
I'll
am right there with you.
be the happiest.
I would like to see silence.
I would be the happiest person. Honestly, if everybody, and I ironic saying this because we're bringing it up for the show, but if everybody sat there and stopped paying attention to these fucking people for a week, they'd fucking kill themselves. Like they just wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't know what to do. Like I don't mean like literally, but they'd
Be bored. They would. You're absolutely right. They would have nothing to do. They would be bored, and they would probably just tweet so much. It would be so unbearable, and people would actually see the real person and be like, "Oh my god, why did I really care about this person for so long?" That's like you could see. Oh my god, sometimes these people when they actually get on social media and they have like nothing to do.
Well, it's like Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman had this huge thing last night about Elon Musk, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, Pablo?" And he's like, "I'm not going to be on Twitter anymore. I'm taking my thing to Facebook Threads." Dude, that website fizzled out in 6 days, and Ron Perlman crawled right back. You're 75 years old. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Ron Perlman. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares about you. It's a weird thing. You did Hellboy years ago. You really haven't done anything since. Like, what has Ron Perlman done other than Blade Trinity, which was a garbage movie?
Well, you know
and
what
Hellboy?
he's done? He looks pretty weird. He's like kind of so weird. He's on the border of interesting. Like he just looks so cool. Where it's like, I appreciated him being around. The older he gets, the weirder he looks too. So it's like, yeah, you could stay around. I like looking at your face. You have a cool face.
He looks
like
a cat.
Metamorphic rocks.
I don't know if that's. Nah, he looks like igneous, son. My boy looks like igneous rocks. But either way, let's see what these wide-eyed fucking weirdos have to say.
I'm sure this lady.
By the way,
you know.
Let me go back.
Hold on,
Great.
real quick. You know, if you could put all your money, your life, on one spin in Vegas, on what she voted. You know,
her fucking eyes.
Don't worry about it. You know you'd win, but
I would win. I would win in a fucking heart. Her eyes didn't give it away. Look at her fucking eyes.
You know what she voted.
I know what she voted.
there's not
Do
going to be a
movie.
need
I
for
know what she
background
voted.
actors.
AI is a huge topic right
Joe, she voted fucking left. I don't even have to fucking tell you this. I snorted coke out of her fucking asshole. 1997. Fucking weirdest time of my entire life. Look at the dog. What a cool fucking dog.
Yeah, but I feel bad for him because he's not part of it. He doesn't agree with this.
God, she's got the weirdest
He
fish
probably
mouth.
doesn't even, that dog probably does not give a shit. He just wants to go home and eat some food. And he's like, what the fuck am I here for? You know? Leave the dog out of it.
He's like, dude, he's like, are you guys fucking for real right now? He's like, just let me be a fucking dog.
If you can zoom in on his face, look at him. He's like, I don't give a fuck. That
Can
dog
I zoom
does
in on his
not-
fucking face? I can't. It'd be
No,
cool
that
though.
dog- dude, you know that dog doesn't give a shit.
I'm sure he's in the Screen Actors Guild.
right now, and I feel like a lot of people don't know how to handle it. It's very confusing and scary for people.
Why do
And
these people
Sounds like she can't handle it. Sounds
Why
like
do
she's
these-
scared.
why do these people always talk in crying question marks? I don't know what
Sounds
to
like people don't
do.
know how to handle it, and it sounds like they're just scared.
It sounds
and
like-
my dog just needs to eat, but I just don't know where to feed him.
She
And I
sounds
gotta
like-
pee too.
She sounds like Artemis in Always Sunny when she gets fired. She said, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Artemis.
Hey, what's up, Artemis?
Artemis P. Frog.
it's a real threat
Artemis
to
Clyde
all
Frog.
of the workers,
Oh, it's
the
Clyde Frog.
writers, the actors, but really every working person in the world right now.
I
is
don't
potentially
care,
enslaved.
but
I'm really proud of
that
SAG
person
AFTRA to
is
come out and,
not
do a little
real.
call.
They're
You know,
just
I
not
think it's
real.
so important. just
So
for
maybe
the
they're a
future of
crisis
everybody,
actor.
Oh,
longevity and
don't get us killed on that
mental
one.
health and, you know,
That's a
the
hog
ability
right
to
there.
do this.
And the sense of
What's his
solidarity
name?
that's
Tim
happening
Hogg?
right now is really powerful, and I'm glad that both unions can come together and just power in numbers. So I think it's just a matter of time, right? That our voices are gonna have to be heard.
I'm glad the strike is happening. I'm glad the WGA and SAG went on strike, but I'm really sad that it had to happen.
I think I'm sorry about the sag, but it's just hot out here, and I'm just sagging really low.
All right, trying to pull up,
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up the actual fucking thing that I had before. Give me 1 second. There we go. So this.
Workers Union now set to strike at midnight. The Writers Guild already on strike. This is the first time in more than 60 years this has happened. ABC's chief national
I
correspondent.
hope
Matt
it never
Duffin
goes
from
back.
Los
I hope they
Angeles.
never work it out. I really do, man.
We can't work it out.
For the first time in 63 years, both actors and writers will be on strike. Labor tensions now set to paralyze Hollywood.
That's great.
SAG-AFTRA, the union representing actors, voting to hit the picket lines after negotiations with the organization that represents studios and streamers broke down early this
Oh, I
morning.
didn't know streamers were
Actor
part of
Fran
this.
Drescher, best
There we
known
go.
for her role in The Nanny, now the president of SAG-AFTRA, saying they were
Fran Drescher, best known for her role 25 years ago. Like, who gives a shit what Fran Drescher says? What a great freeze frame, by the way. Jesus Christ. She looks like she's going to start screaming in German at any second.
Fucking Fran
Eats Schwein und Schleiden. Death Metal Fran. I would love to see that.
were given no choice.
You
She
share
looks
the
like she's-
wealth because
there
you
you go.
cannot exist without us.
The more than 100
What a weird. Let me rewind that for a second. Jesus Christ. What a weird. I know. It's so great when you bring it back like that. What a weird fucking thing to say from such an entitled, like, group of, like I said before, a group of entitled pieces of shit to just come back and be like, you guys
I can see
can't
if it was
exist
someone
without
like
us."
really important, like a really good writer or something. But like Fran Drescher was cool in The Nanny, but like I don't know how much writing she did. But I suppose like I don't know how much writing you've done lately. What do you mean like we can't live without you? Like what writing have you done?
I've
that's really
actually lived
interesting or
without her my
funny?
entire life.
Yeah, so I just don't get it.
Kind of weird. So I
Don't tempt
know.
us. Don't tempt us to leave you, Fran Drescher. Just go.
Excuse me,
We can live
Fran.
without
I
you.
don't. I don't know if you know this, but I've lived without you my entire life.
You have to go and live with your
Is
friend.
it-
I can live without my friend. like
I've
a
lived without
stud.
Fran. You have to ask Fran permission to not watch the nanny. Is it me or does she sound like Jeff's wife in Curb Your Enthusiasm? Listen.
You share the wealth because you cannot exist.
You sicko, fucko, cocksucker.
Your daughter's hysterical, fucking crying, because you ripped the head off a fucking doll.
Without us.
The more than
Without us.
160,000 SAG-AFTRA members demanding better pay. regulations for artificial intelligence, and increased residuals, which, for many members,
Artificial regulations for, regulations for artificial
Well, no, it's
intelligence.
artificial inseminations for all.
Yeah, they just come up behind him like a horse and fucking get him with the turkey
Well, no,
baster.
that's the whole thing. You don't know when. You could be walking in the park, taking a shit, waking up, and they just come up on you and just
They
boom,
sit on a
you're
they sit
done.
on a they sit on a porta potty at the set, and a fucking turkey baster goes in them. They're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, man or woman. You expect one. Expect 1 in 9 months. You know. Free though. Insurance.
provides
Free kids.
access to
Yeah.
crucial health care.
Insurance covers everything.
$26,000 a
The
year.
birds,
What's up,
the
Johnny
vaccines, the
Diesel?
way-
Health insurance,
I need to hear Tom
and
Cruise
there are
speak
a lot
about
of
this.
people
Well,
who-
here's the crazy thing.
Residual-
Matt Damon.
Here's the crazy thing, John. You're never going to hear Tom Cruise talk
Wait,
about this.
John Diesel.
The Diesel,
Wow.
the Diesely. You're never going to hear
Wow.
fucking Tom Cruise talk about this. You know why? Because Tom Cruise doesn't care about this shit. He just makes. By the way, for years I never watched him. I just went through and watched the entire fucking Mission Impossible series. I'm up to the last movie before this one releases in theaters. Fucking fire. He's a fantastic actor. He really is. He does his own stunts. They thought they killed him on the last one. He doesn't care. He does his movies and that's it. He had that
Just
one
when
weird.
Just when you think they killed him, he's fucking back for another movie.
He's back
fucking
for another. He disarms the bomb last fucking minute. He does it with microprocessors.
Last time I saw John Diesel was about 7 years ago in Revolution Bar, coming to see me play with Mint State opening up for Badfish, and it was fire.
I didn't know you opened for Badfish.
Twice.
That's pretty cool. Ooh, Snooters. It really looks like we do coke on the air. It's so funny.
Someone wants to say hi.
Let's see what fucking Dat Jamin has to say.
Well, payments are what carry them across that threshold.
The Association of Studios and Streamers said they offered the actors historic pay and residual increases and promises on protecting actors' digital likenesses from AI. But the union says that offer.
I have to
That's
call.
awful.
I have to call bullshit on the digital AI because they did that fucking Rogue One. They did the Grand Moff Tarkin shit, and they did it pretty flawlessly too. So I doubt they're going to.
Enough.
They came back with so little that I began to feel like we were duped.
What's your biggest concern right now?
Ooh, that was a weird cut.
Right now. Enough.
That was a
They
weird
came
cut.
back
She
with so-
she almost smiled like she got it wrong. And they had to fucking cut it. Look very closely. It's a very telling thing, but look at the last second before they cut it. Look at her face. She smiles as if she got it wrong and they had to redo it.
Little that I began to feel like we were duped.
What's your biggest concern right
Yep.
now?
There you go.
Well, I feel,
No, they
a
probably
big
just cut it
weight
for
and
the questions.
responsibility.
I don't know, man. She
that
smiled.
We had to strike.
I'm not saying that she sat there
smiled a
with.
lot too, and I think it's kind of shady, but I let it go.
Opposition.
I
will
smile
come
because I'm a
back
piece
to
of
the
shit and I
table.
admit it.
Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, the parent company of ABC News, today speaking on the side of the studios, saying the union's expectations are not realistic and could impact thousands.
There's huge collateral damage in the industry to people who are.
By the way, if you want to know why he's fighting the unions, it's probably because of the whole shit going on in Florida with the fucking Disney shit. So he's probably losing so much money he can't afford to fucking pay it, which is great. It's going to implode. I hope Hollywood implodes on itself. I really do. I'm so sick of these fucking idiots. I cannot wait. God damn, I can't wait for this.
Who are
What do you know
support
about,
services.
Kitty Bella
I could go
scratches?
on and on.
What does she know? She's giving you fucking kisses.
Different regions even because of just the sheer size of the business. It's a shame. It is really a shame.
David, the strike officially begins at midnight, and it not only prohibits actors from working, but also from promoting their films at festivals and premieres. And just to give you a sense of how rare it is for both the Actors and Writers Guilds to strike simultaneously, that last happened in 1960, and the president of the Actors Guild was Ronald Reagan. David.
That puts it in perspective. 60 years ago, Matt Gutman tonight. Thank you, Matt.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks
Ronnie
for
Ray.
checking
Hi,
out ABC News YouTube.
hi everybody.
Ronnie Ray.
Hi everybody. George Stephanopoulos here. I'm a fucking lizard. Oh shit, he disappeared. Fucking Space Coast, or Space Ghost, Coast to Coast.
Well, yeah, you hear about Ozzy canceling?
I did, man. And so at first I was like kind of annoyed because I think he's canceled the last 5 fucking years.
Yeah, but we expect it. We completely expected it. This guy's been canceling left and right. He's not in good shape. I think he totally took the gig, got paid for it with the intention of canceling. Because they knew, come on,
Yeah.
he knows he can't deliver. It wasn't like, oh, my body's just can't do it last minute. And they replace him with Judas Priest. Come on, it's easier to sell. Judas Priest just plays so much. They really.
By the way,
I'm not saying I don't like Judas Priest. I'm just saying they play everywhere. It's easy
by the way,
for them.
I
to
would
just
100% rather see Judas Priest because I've seen Ozzy. And when I saw Ozzy, I saw him in Camden, New Jersey in 2010. He came out and he said, "Good, hello, Philadelphia." And I was like, yeah, you definitely are you're slow.
Oh no! See, I saw him one time, and he was pretty fucking good, man. He had a great time. He had Zach Wild with him. It was like 5 years ago.
He had Gus G with.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was 5.5 years ago because that was the tickets I couldn't go to because I had
No,
commitments.
so I saw him with Well, I had tickets for you too with that one I went to. G was there.
Yeah, no,
With, G's mom. Yeah,
I brought G and G's mom, and then I had
offered-
to go to basic training, and I was like, yeah, give your mom my ticket, fucking take it, like I don't
I
care.
totally offered G's mom a joint that I rolled, and she was definitely not too thrilled. But I just wanted to be nice. It wasn't being a dick,
Well, you've also offered a joint to fucking Lita Ford, so let's be honest about that one.
Let's be honest about that. It was Lita Ford and Bruce Kulick.
And Vince Neil.
Oh no.
Vince Neil was there, and wasn't one of the Ramones brothers there?
Lita Ford, Bruce Kulick, and Rudy Sarzo.
Bro, you put Rudy
Just
Sarzo
walking
down.
Well, that's a pretty good story though. I'm literally just walking down the street with Lita Ford, Bruce Kulick, and Rudy Sarzo.
Ludi Barzo?
Ludi Barzo. But I'm walking down. I'm like just rolling up this joint. I'm just kind of smoking it, and I just offered it to all of them because I'm like, figuring these guys are rockers, but none of them took it. They all didn't really partake, but they were super cool the entire time. And it wasn't like I just met them on the street. We were there hanging out and stuff previously, but it was really cool though. We left this place. We're just like walking down, trying to find a subway and whatever, all going our different ways. But still, Lita Ford, Bruce Kulick, who was he replaced.
Bruce Kulick was in Kiss from
Yeah, but hold on,
1983
hold on.
to
Who would-
1990.
Hold on, that makes me think.
Lee
I know he was
Kerslake.
No, but I know that Bruce Kulick was in Kiss, but who would he replace? Because Gene never left. Oh, he would replace Ace.
Yeah, he replaced Ace, and
Yes,
he did, and
okay,
he
yeah,
so
yeah,
he did
never mind.
Animalized, even though
Which
Vinnie
was a good
Vincent's
album.
on,
Heavens
even
on
though
Fire was a good song.
even though Vinnie Vincent's on the album, Bruce Kulick did all that shit. I think he did I Love It Loud. He did everything up until 1997, and then they kicked him out to do the reunion for Psycho Circus, which is
You know what's dope as fuck
album.
about Bruce Kulick too? Before Kiss, he was the tour guy for Bad at Hell. Bruce Kulick played guitar, and his brother, what was his brother's name?
Bob. Bob's dead
Bob
now.
Kulick. Yeah, yes, he is. And he played bass. And there's a ton of videos. And I mean, that is a fucking banger album, especially live. They reproduced all those crazy bike sounds, the motorcycle sounds, and everything. And these guys were really good. It was a complete pleasure. So, backstory going back, it was Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. I know a girl that was she worked for People magazine. They were putting it together, and Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, the company, was lacking a drum teacher, so they reached out to her, and she got me, and I got paid to hang out with these people. That's one of the best things ever.
Wasn't Neil Peart there, or was I wrong about that?
No Neil Peart. No Neil Peart.
I think when James told me, he said something about Neil Peart, and I think he was confused. So I think that's where I kind of got the notion from, because I remember being in Vermont, and I was telling John, I was like, dude, Sean just fucking played with all these fucking dudes.
Oh, I wish Neil Peart was there. It was like B-list celebrities. It really was, but it was so good. But anyway, it was so I was playing drums, and I got there, and it was a bunch of people from People magazine. They're the ones that hired the group to like rent out Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp just for them. So people within People magazine, like kind of like a group or get together, and they didn't really have musical talent. They just needed a couple people to show them a few notes and everything. So we had a couple teams. One team was Mark Hudson. He wrote all the Aerosmith songs from the early 90s, late 80s, like Dude Looks Like a Lady, Love an Elevator, Living on the Edge, all that good stuff. And he also wrote for Meatloaf in the early '90s. So like when he came back and did Anything for Love with Jim Steinman, they co-wrote. So he was cool. Anyway, there was also he was like one of the main celebrities, and there was Lita Ford. She played guitar and sang. Lita Ford also, she's
Was from the Runaways.
Runaways, and yeah, absolutely, she was like 17. Also, Kiss
And
Deadly.
remember, she fucking was engaged to Tony Iommi, and he beat the shit out of her.
Tony Iommi.
Yeah, and he beat the shit out of her.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude.
And she worked with Ozzy when she did "Close My Eyes Forever" at the same time. So it was in her book, and then Tony Iommi had to come out and he admitted, he's like, "Yeah, I'm not proud of that time. I was on a lot of coke." And I was like, "Yeah, good excuse. That's fine." Yeah, dude.
Dude, I had no idea. That's wild.
I don't like celebrities, but when it comes to like my musical heroes, I'm like, I'll fucking read
they're
something.
They're juicy. Celebrities are usually pretty shitty. They're eccentric.
Yeah, they're fucking
also,
sociopaths.
So Bruce Kulick was there.
Game recognizes game.
He was a guitarist and studio taught him and his brother Bob, and they played for Meatloaf. He played for Kiss, replaced Ace Frehley.
That's right, Pablo. They are. He is actually.
Stuff. But anyway, so I went there and I did this this rock and roll fantasy camp and went jammed out with these guys, and we had a bunch of people that were like amateurs, just like learning how to play. And our whole thing was to learn a song and have a bunch of these corporate guys learn an instrument and play with us. I was the drummer. Bruce Kulick was the bassist, and Lita Ford sang. And our thing was to come up with a song that we could all play together, and then perform it at the W Hotel, which was like a huge new hotel at the time, or at least very popular up and coming. So we went there, and the entertainment for the night was us, and the person that was like hosting it, like hanging out, was Vince Neil from Motley Crue, which was fucking dope. He was really cool. And since I was a teacher, quote unquote, because I really didn't know what I was doing. I was actually a really bad drug addict at the time too, so I was like just doing pills in the bathroom and stuff, like sniffing pills. It was really fucking awful, but I still slayed my position. Like I impressed everybody, but another story. But anyway, so I went out. They're like, here, you can hang out with Vince Neil. He's up here. So I got to chill with Vince Neil, and he's like, hey, what's up? And he's hanging out with like two older women, like they're all in their like late 30s, early 30s, but they're like gorgeous. And he's just chilling with like each one each side, and we're chilling. And before we perform, he's going to perform a couple songs. He goes down. He's like, I'll be right back, bro. We're just sitting at the bar table. And he goes down and does Girls, Girls, Girls.
Did he do a Zeppelin song?
Yeah, Zeppelin song.
Communication?
Was, no, Rock and Roll, because the drum solo. And he had his drummer and another drummer that was Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp for another group that was like the son of somebody that like I think the son of like the People magazine guy, but he was actually really good. They did a double drum solo for Rock and Roll, which was like in sync, perfect. They did in the song it was Girls, 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 Dr. Feelgood, and they Vince Neil slayed it. That's why I was so surprised in the news in the past couple of years when Vince Neil really got a lot of shit for being. So he sounds terrible. He really does. I'm not even gonna like stick up for him, but he was so cool though. He sounded great that night. And then we went out there and we performed Back in Black. Pretty cool though, really sick night. But yeah, hanging out with a bunch of celebrities. And then bring it to the end. We all left, go to catch a subway, and walking down with Lita Ford, Bruce Kulick, Mark Hudson, whatever. And I just rolled up this dude.
What'd you say, Rock Hudson?
Rock Hudson.
He's like, I have AIDS.
Well, so there was no research at the time, so I didn't want to share the joint with him because I felt really bad.
That's so fucked.
No, but
anybody who doesn't know the Rock Hudson story, you should look it up because it's really crazy how much trouble he got in 1988 when he was on that he was on a TV show. So everybody who doesn't know, Rock Hudson was a famous actor, and he was closeted, and he ended up getting AIDS in '82, and then in '84 he was it's not Dallas, it's some other show, but he shared a kiss with this woman, and he knew he was AIDS positive, but he never told her, and then he was on My Friends and Me or something with Doris Day. It was a TV show she was fucking launching, and he appeared on the show, and he was so gaunt and so skinny, and then he died 2 months later. And the woman who he kissed, like the whole dude, Ed Asner shut down production on Hollywood. He was like, nobody kisses anybody with AIDS anymore, and they were like, all right, that's it.
What's more awkward, kissing somebody or bleeding in a pool?
Yeah, but yeah, well, all right, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yo, yeah, the fucking head dive.
Yeah. So
Seoul Olympics, 1992.
Yeah, it's easy to just clear out a room than clear out a pool. Was
did
that
the
too soon? Was that too soon?
I did the Christian. I did
I've
the
been
Christian.
working up a material for a while. It's
I
very
did the
edgy.
I did the Christian Bale face from American Psycho.
No, that's the any dad face when he eats good food.
Oh,
I had these mashed potatoes. Joe Rogan. I had these mashed potatoes.
Joe.
That's what. So if we had Dad's face when he ate a really good meal, and
Joey Diaz's voice.
Just
Sean, I ate these fucking boigas. These fucking boigas were the best boigas you ever had. I made them smash my fucking hands down on my own sweat.
Yeah. Speaking of boigas, do you remember Jim Ants?
The name's familiar. I don't remember him though.
Church.
Nah.
The Antses. No, it's funny. He used to say boigas. He was
Dad
Brooklyn.
said.
He was
Well,
an old
Dad
dude.
says it too.
So this guy Jim Ants, he was an old dude. Him, Jim, and Marilyn Ants. They were like in their late 70s, early 80s, in the mid 90s, and they were super cool. They drove what at the time was a brand new 94 to 96 Pontiac Bonneville Hunter Green. Looked fire. And this guy, he would always apologize for his past, but he was like sweet. He was like a deacon of the church, so he was like really high up there. But you could tell his like Brooklyn past was fucking fire. You could tell he was probably knuckle sandwiches left and right, stealing fucking fruit and shit, fucking people
Dude,
up.
I
you know?
heard
Dude,
from
Jim and Marilyn
James.
Ants, man.
I heard from James the best story about that fucking church. They were doing like a, because like for anybody who's not Catholic, they don't do like you do like prayer requests and stuff. And one dude stood up and he said, "Pastor, please forgive me. I have lived a life of masturbation and fornication." And apparently, Mom looked at you and James and she's like, "Shut up! Don't
Because
even
we
fucking
just
say."
ready to like dive into it, but so this guy, you actually, I don't even know if I can describe him. This guy used to push his mom around in a stroller, like
You got to
he's an
restart your
older-
camera real quick because you just kind of lagged for a second.
1 second, hold on. So this guy, he was an older guy. He used to push his mom around in like a stroller baby carriage. It was very weird, but he was like older and big. He was like definitely slow, but he was like a big dude. If I described him to you, you'd know him. But yeah, he came in there one time and he was so loud about it. And it wasn't like a lot of times during church, like during certain services, the kids are kept off in like Sunday school or whatever.
Yep.
But it was
It was
like
Wednesday
either-
night that they kept everybody together.
Yeah. Well, it was like everybody was there. He was so loud about it. Everybody was doing their little prayers, and he came up and he's like, "Pastor, I've lived a life of fornication and masturbation." I was like, "Oh my God!" And James and I just wanted to like dive right into it and just be like laughing. And Mom looked at us and she was like, "Don't you fucking dare!" And we were like, "Okay, Mom's pretty serious about this." I remember Mom also one time at church. What was it? Jerk off. Yeah, it was the word jerk off. James and I were using the word jerk off, and she like really reprimanded the fuck out of us. And she's like, "You guys don't know what that means."
Well, there was before we get back on the Ozzy thing, there was this woman. She was kind of emotionally not there. She used to go to church towards the end, and she had a daughter. I don't know what the deal is with daughter. She was a single mother. She was a very short woman. She was very weird looking, and I remember in the middle of service.
No, are you talking about the woman with the brace?
No,
Gray-haired?
no, not her. But this woman, so her daughter was moving around in church, and in the middle of Wednesday night service, I hadn't been there in like a year, and I went back with Mom this night because I think God wanted me to see this. I'm being honest, like this was great, and she's like, "Stop fucking moving out loud!" And everybody just stopped, and Pastor, I won't say his name.
Hartman. He's a great guy.
Yeah, so Pastor
Awesome.
Harmon was so
awesome, by the way.
He was so taken. Actually, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Harmon. It was right after Pastor Paulman went back to his state.
Oh, I forgot Paulman was in between.
Dude,
the wires.
fucking great dude.
Oh my gosh. All
So everybody like it was like somebody shot somebody. Like we're all like wide eyed. Like we looked like fucking Harold Lloyd. Like our fucking hairs were standing, and. And we're like just quiet, and she's like, "I hate this fucking kid of mine. I fucking hope that this kid fucking dies soon." Like just going off, and like we're like, Holy shit. And he grabbed her and brought her there back. And he's like, you need to he brought like a bunch of the women from the parish back in there. And he's like, what is going on? Talk to me. Like, stop. And she's like, this kid just doesn't fucking sit still. And he's like, yeah, she's a kid. That's what they do. You need to be patient. That's one of the tenets of Christianity is patience. And she's like, I don't know how you fucking do it. Like freaking out. And I remember mom sitting there. Mom's like it's all quiet. Mom just looks at me and goes, she's a very disturbed woman. That made me break. I broke so hard. I was like, Jesus Christ. But speaking of disturbed people real quick, so what's going on with Power Trip?
Oh, Power Trip. I kind of got off that one. We got disturbed people.
We never,
left and
we
right.
never finished
So,
it. Because
no, well, we got disturbed people left and right. So Power Trip's nothing. We got even more disturbed people. And
I'm going to
trying to cover
criticize
it
this,
up.
by the way, fairly because this guy bothers me a little bit. He was funny for like a year, and then the right pick.
Evening, and welcome to a special
Connor,
Cover Our Tracks
Connor.
report.
Connor, what would it be without your criticization? Criticization.
What would it be?
What would
Probably
it
be a
be,
normal
though?
conversation.
Also, how could you take this guy seriously? Look at him. I mean,
Yeah,
I
he looks like the guy who
understand,
came in. My issue is because I'm fucking very conservative. Is I have to critique the right wing because I'm completely sick of them trying to do left wing tactics.
You know what's weird though? It won't play.
Why
Oh,
are
there you
we
go.
on the left panicking over the movie The
No, it's weird.
Sound of Freedom and the realities
They probably
of
got hit,
child
dude.
trafficking?
Yep, very weird.
Well, your camera's going too, so I think your internet's kind of fixed. So restart your camera and shit. But I'm dude. I like as much as I'm right wing. I'm very very sick of these fucking right wingers coming out trying to be funny, dude. Like right wingers, they're funny. Like Tucker Carlson is fucking
that it
hilarious.
exposes. Why are Rolling Stone, the Washington Post, CNN, and other trusted outlets smearing the movie and creating a narrative
Like Tucker
that is
Carlson's
fueled by
funny.
Crazy
I just
conspiracy theories. Well, in doing so, we realize it looks like we're trying to convince people that child trafficking isn't a problem at all in order to protect vile predators. And that kind of makes
By the way, for everybody out there, fucking like and subscribe and share this out on your Facebook and whatever, your Rumbles, whatever you have. Just fucking share it out there. Let's get the fucking word out there about this shit.
Share your gosh damn rumbles.
Also,
Why
like I
Sound of
said, in
Freedom
case you guys
deserves to
care,
be bashed,
buymeacoffee.com/culturevulture radio and donate in case you want to. You don't have to. I don't give a shit. I just do this for fun.
There's another donation site we got. It's actually really nice. You could donate your sperm. We take 1 to 1,000. Depending per milliliter. Please donate your sperm too. We're very eager to guzzle. You know.
Donate your sperm to at connorsasshole.com.
Starting with the facts.
There you go.
Sound of Freedom
That's
is
the
based
site.
on the life of
Donate
Tim
it.
Miller, founder of
Reach
Operation
down
Underground
between my
Railroad. that
seeds.
Pause this for 1
sting
second.
Donate
operations
some
to
sperm.
See, my thing is, I get this because this is the dude that he did. It was about 8 years ago. He did that vegan video, and then, like I said, he looks like Dave Mustaine. Like I said, the right picked him. Hello, me, meet the real me. The right picked him up because he was funny. I forgot his fucking name, but now it's just one of those things where it's like you're just as like I'm sure his message is good in this, but
Well,
you're
I'm gonna play it for a second. I'm gonna go tinkle. Don't
yeah.
leave.
So am I. So just no.
No.
All right,
no.
all right. You go and then I'll go because I ain't got a
Rescue children from sex trafficking while putting predators in jail. Today, they've rescued over 7,000
I'm sick of this
children
shit.
and
I gotta
helped
be
to
honest
make
with you, man.
over
As a right winger,
6,500 arrests
the
of
right wing comedy
predators.
shit like this
Pretty
whole
impressive
fucking
statistics considering child trafficking doesn't exist. Now to the moon.
this whole fucking right wing thing where they're trying to do comedy, they're just really not good at it. This guy was funny when he did the vegan thing. I get that, but you're talking about 8 fucking years ago. Comedy doesn't always age well. This is an example of a dude whose comedy didn't age well. If you want an example of a dude who fucking aged well with comedy, and I don't even agree with his politics, and I don't agree with his religious stance, it's fucking Louis C.K., it's George Carlin. It's a timeless thing. This dude is so cringy with the ripped up suit and shit.
That you can trust.
I don't know.
Now,
Form your own
listen
opinion. I don't
closely
give a
because
shit.
The
but-
brainwashing is about to begin.
It's
Our
just-
working
it's
narrative
just-
that we're aggressively smearing.
It's just weird fucking talking points, and I don't think any of you should care.
More. The now definitely not complicit in child trafficking Washington Post called Sound of Freedom a QAnon adjacent thriller seducing America. Seducing America into
Terrible
what?
voiceover.
Not caring about and being willing to stop the heinous abuse of children by the most vile predators on the planet.
Let me go pee while you play this because I saw part of
Operation
this
Underground Railroad.
with Mom. She sent it to me because that's Mom for you. Give me 1 second.
I think it plays better when I mute my video. So let me see.
No, it's
Checker who
no,
has
look,
yet
it
to
does.
find a single
Literally.
fact but
So-
keeps trying.
no,
found
it only
no
plays better
evidence of
when you
$10
have to reset your
claim
camera every
that
couple minutes
10,000
because
children
your
are
Dude, the
internet's
video
smuggled
turned
into the
into a
US each year
pulsating
for
ice
sex
of a
work.
vulture.
You're doing God's work, Glenn, and
Maybe
also
come.
doing a great job of not finding what you're not looking for. The trusted news outlet also shares that in 2020, Vice News investigated Operation Underground Railroad, and though they found no falsehoods in their rescue claims, they did conclude that they have a pattern of image burnishing and mythology building, a series of exaggerations that are
It's nuts
in
that
the
Vice
aggregate
News is just
quite
saying it,
misleading.
completely ignoring that
Provable
there's
facts
not
and experiences
an
are at the top
underground
of the
child
list for things
trafficking
that are
ring.
quite misleading. This just in! Just so you know, Vice News is now owned by George Soros. So feel free to do the math on why they're helping out society by helping protect traffickers.
George Soros also is
And the
a big
Washington
owner
Post
of
hits a home run when
Wayfair.
they say,
And
but the movie
Wayfair had a
has
big thing
nevertheless
going on
been
with
promoted
child
on
trafficking,
QAnon message boards, and some accuse it of playing into the movement, which is based on the false belief that a highly organized network of global elites are kidnapping children, having sex with them, and harvesting their blood. Again, this is a false belief. Trust the Washington Post. Nothing like that happens.
It's crazy. So ISIS, when they rolled in and they took advantage and took all the minority religious children, Christian Yazidis, the same thing's happening in Africa, and they're setting up these like baby factories where they'll impregnate women and make the babies just to sell their body parts. One little boy in particular, who that was happening to him, he was kidnapped actually at 4 or 5 years old until he was 12, and they would just slowly suck like the spinal fluid.
I think Connor's coming back, so
So-
Connor should probably hear this.
so like I
Connor,
said,
Connor,
well-
listen to this.
well, I watched.
So feel free to do the math on why they're helping out society by helping protect traffickers. And the Washington Post hits a home run when they say, but the movie has nevertheless been promoted on QAnon message boards, and some accuse it of playing into the movement, which is based on the false belief that a highly organized network of global elites are kidnapping children, having sex with them, and harvesting their blood. Again, this is a false belief. Trust the Washington Post. Nothing like that happens.
It's crazy. So
Who owns
ISIS,
the
when they
Washington
rolled in
Post,
and
Jeff?
Took advantage and took all the minority religious children, Christian Yazidis. The same thing's happening in Africa, and they're setting up these like baby factories where they'll impregnate women and make the babies just to sell their body parts. One little boy in particular, who that was happening to him, he was kidnapped actually at 4 or 5 years old until he was 12, and they would just slowly suck like the spinal fluid. And they would sell it. This is a witch doctory kind of satanic ritual stuff where they sell the blood and people like drink it and think they're being empowered. And it's a real thing. And this kid had lost all use of, by the time he was 11 years old, he looked like he was 7 and he couldn't use his limbs. And we were able to get him to a doctor in Salt Lake at the Children's Shriners Hospital.
Pause it for a
Again,
second.
Completely false belief.
I would like to see.
It does sound really weird. And like, I
It's
wish there was
very,
more
very,
proof.
very far fetched. That's the only thing I want as proof. If you're going to tell me this,
Well, the whole thing is, I agree it's far fetched, but like, why would you go that far? That I feel like you could go so much cleaner than that, but that's
well, I
so
also
nu-
believe
it's
in
nuts
the
to
fucking.
say that.
But I also believe in the adrenochrome shit. I'm sure that's real.
No,
I'm sure
I
all
agree
that
with you
shit
in
is
that,
real.
but like,
I
he wasn't saying it was like elitist. He was just saying it was witch doctors. It was ISIS that
Oh,
came
I'm
in
sh-
there, and
Listen,
we know
I'm-
ISIS obviously was funded by
Well,
and
it wasn't
just
ISIS
goes-
that was. It was Al Qaeda, and Al Qaeda, when you translate it, means the base, and that's where the Mujahideen fighters came from. I'm sure ISIS was too.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with a lot of this guy's talking points. I just don't like the
No,
aesthetics.
also,
of it. Like,
I
it's
want
very
to take him
cringy.
seriously, but you can't. He looks like
Dave Mustaine now, after the cancer, when he came back on Joe Rogan, he's like, I left a lot of my music. And I told Metallica, like, I'm going to pull a picture up, actually, right now, of what the fuck he looks like.
But still, like, what he's talking about, like, dude, What the fuck, man? Like this. The other guy, like he's pretty lucid. He's not like some crazy dude. He's talking. The other guy on the right of him is like, whatever. He's just very appalled to hear things like this. But that guy's just going on about things he's seen. He's like, just
there you go.
Going.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
No, and listen, I agree with him about the whole the movie that came out. Like that's fine. But and then I'm sure. Listen,
Do you want to keep listening?
Yeah, we'll keep listening. Let's do it. Let's.
And we'd like to thank them. And while you're there, use the discount.
Of course.
Oh no! I
of
went
course.
straight to the end.
You got to go 3/4 of the way. That's where he was.
Isn't good for their interests.
Right under the
The
P.
Washington
For protecting. That's where he was. Right under the
Post
P for
tries to
protecting.
discredit the film further by discrediting Operation Underground Railroad itself by proudly stating that Glenn Kessler, the Washington Post fact checker who has yet to find a single fact but keeps trying, found no evidence of Tim Ballard's
Kessler,
claim
huh?
that 10,000 children are smuggled into the U.S. each year for sex trafficking. You're doing God's work, Glenn, and also doing a great job of not finding what you're not looking for.
I hate when people like cocky and snarky about things.
Yeah, no, that's what
Be
makes me hate it.
factual, and then I'll trust you.
investigated Operation Underground Railroad.
It's like years ago. I
and
used to
though
like
they
Ben
found
Shapiro, but then
no
Ben Shapiro got
falsehoods in
very
their
cocky
rescue
until somebody
claims,
really
they
challenged him, and
concluded
he
that
started
they have
freaking the
a
fuck out.
pattern of image
I think at one
furnishing
point
and
Tucker was
mythology
good, too.
building,
No,
a
Tucker's always
series
been
of
good. You should have seen him last night, dude.
exaggerations
He
that are, in the
killed
aggregate,
Mike Pence on
quite
TV. It was really
misleading.
sad.
Provable facts and
He literally murdered
experiences
him.
are
I
at
think
the
there's a
top of
warrant
the
out
list
for his
for
fucking
things that
arrest.
are
That's how
quite
bad it was.
misleading. This
Sexual
just in.
murder?
No,
Just so you
dude,
know,
he
Vice
he
News
really,
is now owned by George
really,
Soros.
really.
So feel
fucked
free to
all
Did you
these-
hear that?
the list
Yeah,
for
it's
things that
yeah.
are
Well, George
quite
Soros isn't in
misleading.
the picture
This
anymore.
just
It's his
in.
son.
Just so you know, Vice News is now owned by George Soros. So feel free to do the math
I mean,
on
the
why they're
Wayfair
helping out
thing.
society by helping protect.
Oh yeah. I'm
traffickers.
sure some of that was real
And the
because I looked up
Washington
some of the
Post hits a
fucking
home run when they
UPCs.
say,
So
"But movie
the night
has
that happened, I
nevertheless
went
been
online and
promoted
those things were
on QAnon
available. They
message
were very
boards,
expensive. They were
and
like
some accuse
in the
it
tens
of
of
playing
thousands
into
of
the
dollars,
movie.
and the next day they were gone.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, exactly. And then it even said like
They were buying
storage
like
cabinet.
large items in the names like Kevin, and it was like $20,000.
Belief. Trust the Washington Post. Nothing like that happens.
It's crazy. So ISIS, when they rolled in and they took advantage and took all the minority religious children, Christian Yazidis, the same thing's happening in Africa, and they're setting up these
No,
like
it's the
baby
same thing.
factories where they're.
That's why I said you were under the P before. Keep going. Keep going.
No, you're under the P.
You got to go.
always.
You see the guy on the right. You got to go to his left arm. That's where your thing was. Right there. Yep.
Doesn't get easier than
Good
that.
of them
Restart
to
your
put so
camera.
much effort into trying to get you to believe so. Isn't it? And just something to preferably not think about, outlets like Washington Post and Rolling Stone had fiercely labeled what are now provably true facts as conspiracies, like Hunter Biden's laptop, the lab leak, and side effects. And also don't consider that now that those occurrences have proven to be true, these outlets are still calling them conspiracy theories.
Yeah, we should definitely talk
So
over
you
this.
should have plenty of
Yeah, I was about to
confidence
say,
in trusting them when they
I feel like we're definitely gonna get. I haven't seen anything go off. I'm looking at the fucking StreamYards thing, and I haven't seen an X over any of the streaming shit.
must have brainworms or something. Does
know.
ivermectin work against brainworms?
Yeah, this guy's
What's
just.
Mel Gibson have to say?
One of the most disturbing problems in our world
Yeah,
today.
I'm done with him.
is
Once
human
we get to that
trafficking.
point.
Dude.
But I do agree, like, human traffic is a huge thing. Human traffic is a huge thing, obviously. And the fact that they're like trying to cover it up completely. Like, oh, to think that tens of thousands of people, like, you're not even going to, like, acknowledge that, like, a large portion of people get trafficked every day. You're just going to completely cover it up. It's nuts. They're, like, just completely going on the deep end. Also, they tried to bring this movie to Disney. They tried to bring it to Netflix. And
What's
they
up,
all got
Ira
denied.
Groska? I don't know who this is, but what is up, my Eastern European friend?
Yeah, what is up?
Solancha.
The M, I think, is a emojicon that doesn't get translated, but I think
Maybe.
it's a thumbs up or whatever it is. But love you.
Yeah, I'm just sick of this guy though. Like, I'm sick of all these fucking these right wingers that come in and they do the same grift as the left. That's all they are. They're just the left grifting for the right. They do the same talking points at all times.
Yeah,
They
it
do the
just needs to
same
be equal. It
stupid
needs to be an
shtick.
equal side. Yeah.
Nah, fuck the equal side. It doesn't need to be anything. It doesn't need to be anything. It really doesn't. You just need guys like Tucker Carlson. Like Tucker Carlson last night when he was asking Mike Pence about the fucking the Capitol thing that happened. He was like, well, more people died in the Black Lives Matter movement or in the riots. And then he's like, remember when they sieged the Capitol and they killed more people than January 6th? He said it under the mic and people started cheering. Like everybody booed. It was so bad that Mike Pence got hit with water balloons walking out of there.
Like he thought it was going to be really, really fire, and he like got fucked up.
All these dudes went in there to be interviewed for a thing that they were doing for the. It's almost like a Republic before they do the RNC debates and shit. And they had Tucker Carlson, who was kicked off of Fox, host it, and he literally just made them all look like idiots. And it's like, dude, you guys have been outshined by a journalist who doesn't. I'm sure Tucker is probably in that same group, and he made you all look so fucking
He gets
dumb.
a lot of hate, but yeah,
he's great, dude. He's fantastic. But like when you see guys like this who just like, oh, let's wear a prop suit. It's like, but why? Like, just state the facts. We don't need to try to be funny like the left. That's not what's going on. Like, we just need to fucking
take it seriously.
Yeah, take it seriously. We don't need to sit there and be like,
100%.
I don't want to see a bubble coming out, like a comic bubble, and then them pointing up and be like, did you know that the fucking...
Well, the whole thing is that's what catches viewers. That's what they think.
Of course.
News wants to catch viewers. So
of course. It's
yeah,
all
they
become that
lose.
weird
Yep.
fucking TikTok thing where everybody's got to be... It's like all the videos that come out now on YouTube with the dude slamming the meat in the counter like, I'm going to cook for you the best fucking fried rice you've ever had. And it's like, nobody talks like that, dude. Nobody fucking talks like that. But it's the same thing with guys like
kinda
that.
do.
Well, that's because you put fucking Coke in your butthole. No, but
I can't even eat meat. So
yeah, I know. But it's just
well,
it's
your meat.
It just sucks. So it's like this is what we got.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what we got.
Politician wise, yeah, that's the best.
Not
of our
even
country, the
politician
best-
wise, but even
Well,
like people
Mike
on
Pence, you're
the
talking about, like, you know.
Well, no, not even that. Like even on the right, like the dude with the long orange hair. It's like this is what we got. A dude who made a funny video 8 years ago is the guy representing us. Nick Fuentes, who can debate and do all that shit, but hangs out with cat boys. That's what we have. Like it's just like, dude, what are we fucking doing as a movement? Like like all their talking points don't really better. It's just talking points. That's all it is.
As a
It's
country,
buzzwords.
As a majority of a continent, we're doing nothing, and we suck. And we're going deeper into depth, and we just have nothing to show for it. We're not doing any movements. We're going back. We're digressing, and it's just getting worse and worse.
The United States
something
political atmosphere of the United States is like that puddle that forms on the top of your pool fucking cover. It's stagnant. There's baby larvae growing
worse,
in it.
Worse. It's the puddle that forms underneath your refrigerator.
Yeah.
In the tray.
Yeah, you
old
don't really
tray,
pay attention
the old
to it. You
school
kinda just
tray,
like,
that dirty tray you get like every 5-10 years that is just mold water that's green, gnarly as fuck, and you just that's the United States.
Once in a while, your sock hits it, and you fucking kind of like, it wasn't cool. But yeah, we are so fucked. And speaking of fucked, let's talk about the greatest gaffe this fucking week alone.
What you got?
The
What you
greatest fucking gaffe that has ever happened. This goes to show you where their intentions. This goes to show you where their intentions really are with us.
Oh, come on.
And so we set an ambitious goal to cut our greenhouse gas emissions in half by 2030 and to reach net zero emissions by 2050. The investment we are announcing today will help us to achieve these goals, and it will do so much more. Because
What's up, Sambo?
So much more.
On not only
Listen to what she says.
not only on an investment in the entrepreneurs and innovators from and in the community, think about the impact on something like public health. When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our
Do you know how many vehicles it would take to change public health? You ignorant people! Like it would take.
Well,
oh my!
Hold on.
Even all the vehicles being changed over to electric wouldn't even change public health.
Well, it would never change anything because you still need coal power to run the electric plants.
Boom.
Sambo is getting way ahead of us. You are the carbon they want to reduce. That is what she says.
More of our children can breathe clean air.
That's what
and
she
drink
says.
clean
I would
water.
like to say his name over the air, but
I know.
and people are still applauding
Think of
this
the
stupid,
impact
ignorant
on family
woman.
budgets. When we help folks upgrade their heating and cooling systems, we lower the cost of electricity. Which means
She is
lower energy
just
bills for
really
working
just
parents. So they have more money
feeding
for
bait
groceries.
to the lower majority, the lower IQ people. Like they
Culture
really
is-
believe her. They really believe what she's saying. Oh my god, I dislike her terribly.
She said something today. God damn it. They fucking they fucking got rid of the video I had, but she had one where she was just basically like, she went to go say reduce carbon footprint. She was like, oh yeah, we're gonna reduce the population. And it's like, okay, all right, Georgia Guidestones, calm the fuck down for like 2 seconds. What the fuck are you talking about? And then she's like, carbon footprint. That's what I meant.
She's a great puppet. Great puppet.
So let's fucking move on from that. I got one more story for you tonight. This is something that you and I. This is something. Was that Tiki in the background? I just heard.
Yeah, that was definitely Tiki. She's she's horny and smitten. Just so you know, she's in heat.
I gotta pull
That's
this
why
up
she's
on
horny.
screen.
Do it up, dude.
Read that.
Cheers to you all, guys.
So this story is something that happened in our neck of the woods. Growing up on Long Island and shit like that. This is something that we heard of 10 years ago and all that stuff. And I got some kind of weird things to fucking interject.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, this is
So-
big. This is going on years. How many years?
I feel like it's been over 10, but I can't even
I
find
think you're going on like 13.
15 or something. But I can't find the original videos because the problem with YouTube is you used to be able to put a time zone or a time limit thing like, hey, you could search back this far. Now it just says relevant or whatever it is, and then like newest updates and all that shit or upload date. Doesn't do it the same way. I was trying to find the original ones, but this fucking happened.
Look at that car. Look at that car.
19 months after she went missing, the decomposed body of Shannon Gilbert is found near Oak Beach, Long Island. It's the same place she made her last fateful 911 call, a few miles down the road from Gilgo Beach.
Looks
For
like
her
a
family,
hooker.
it's an occasion of sorrow.
Joe Rogan just
or
went
Looks
to
like a-
Shannon Gilbert. She was a hooker.
I got a
Dumped
phone
her on
call.
Gilgo Beach. Didn't think anything of it.
Joe, I fucking sleep with this hooker the next night. She's dead. I'm out of fucking town. By the way, I just want to say that since this news story, I'm pretty sure that lady that they're interviewing, the mom, has been murdered.
Are you
Two
serious?
2 years after this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up on the side before I even say that because that was coming up today too for some fucking odd reason. Yep, she was killed in a stabbing in 2016.
What kind of a stabbing? That sounds so sketchy.
Probably one of those cool ones that happens to do with people who don't want you around.
And they told me that
I get
they
it.
think
I see
they
what you're
found
saying.
Shannon.
Yeah.
And at first I was hesitant. I've heard it so many times before. What not having
She looked like a man.
what has that done to your life and all of your loved ones? You know they say it gets easier.
It's so great. We're watching a video about a woman's daughter died, and fucking Sambo comes out with that shit.
When time goes on, doesn't
Time marches on.
It doesn't. It gets harder. It gets harder.
The search for Shannon's body is the linchpin that uncovered a virtual mass
So
rape
this is
of young victims.
for anybody out from Long Island. This is how we all came to figure out about it because they kind of kept the other killings before this way under wraps. So this is the one that got reported. I think it's like 2011 or 12. Might even be before that because I feel like I was still in high school. Maybe 2010. So it's like
I
2009.
thought you were still in high school.
I am now. I'm like Billy Madison. I'm like, shampoo makes your penis grow. Conditioner makes your penis softer. No, but I think I was still in high school, so we're talking like over 11, 12 years ago. Yeah, when this kind of fucking broke. And that's how we kind of all figured out about what was going on.
But now the Suffolk County Police speculate
Shittiest police force in the world, son.
but accidentally drowned herself in a drug-induced haze. An idea that is soundly rejected by Gilbert family attorney
Like
John
Gilbert
Ray.
Godfrey.
The theory that Shannon.
They went and killed my daughter.
Used
Shannon Gilbert Godfrey. That's why they killed her.
tripped,
I like your voice.
fell,
God damn
drowned,
it.
And meanwhile, her jeans were somehow pulled off by the bramble bushes.
These are great jeans.
Good, the best.
It's an absurd.
She had the best jeans,
The
folks.
water in the marsh
Some would say the
is only
best.
inches deep. She would have to work at it to drown, and to end up where she did, face up, makes no sense whatsoever.
The Suffolk County Police have
Took
refused
20 years to figure that out.
Crime
Yeah.
Watch Daily, but John Ray called for a second
Sounds like
autopsy on Shannon's body
bullshit.
by high-profile forensic pathologist Michael Bobbin. An accidental drowning is nowhere in
What's up, Jewish?
The bone in her neck, known as the hyoid bone, it's a U-shaped bone.
Known as the
Long,
Marriott
maybe
bone.
about that big, and it has two ends or horns upon it. The
Horns.
are missing from the
Two
hyoid.
horns.
That's how you know he's
Two
from New
ends of
York.
horns,
Hey,
yeah.
they got fucking horns. I don't know.
So it was U-shaped. That was like a horseshoe. So we played horseshoes with it, and we discussed how they died. But it was horn-shaped. Horn.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. We got bored. We were fucking playing with a skeleton. I saw the bone was broken, and I started throwing it at the horseshoe thing. And I was like, "Oh shit, this is a horseshoe bone that's broken. The Hylex
oh my
bone."
God.
Every stage of the investigation has been one more step into the unknown. But things get even more strange with the introduction of Dr. Peter Hackett. He was a resident of Oak Beach when Shannon was last seen there. And Shannon's mother claims
My
Dr. Hackett
God.
told her he saw Shannon the night she disappeared.
Sambo saying, "I don't know how true he is." Thank you, Jewish, for that compliment. Sambo saying that's the same bone that Epstein broke when he was not killed. So yeah,
The
definitely.
pee-pee bone?
No,
Pee-pee bone?
no, in the
Pee-pee
neck,
bone.
definitely strangled.
Yeah, pee-pee neck.
Gilgo Beach on the south shore of Long Island, New York. It's the kind of place where busy city dwellers go to find a
It's the kind of place where guys can get their rocks off.
quiet getaway. But for the Long Island serial killer, it's the perfect location for a body dump.
The serial killer with a disposal site has now relieved a lot of the stress because he knows exactly where he's going to bring the victim's body. Once they drop that body, they decompress and now
Jack
they're ready,
off.
and they hunker down. and prepare for
I mean, I would.
Some say he may have killed a dozen young women over 2 decades, but it was the disappearance of 23-year-old Shannon Gilbert that set the Gilgo Beach murder mystery.
She kind of looks like a bitch.
Only 2 days
She
after
looks
her
very
disappearance,
Italian,
her
so,
mother,
yeah,
Mary
probably a
Gilbert,
bitch.
hears from a mysterious
Hey, she looks Italian, so I think she kind of looks like a bitch. Anyway, that was between 12 and 15 years ago when this fucking shit broke. This bitch.
Yeah, it was
this
wild times.
the wild time,
And it took
strange
that long,
times under the
almost
Circle
15
K.
years to figure out what's kind of going on, you know?
Yeah, strange things were afoot at the Circle
There was
K.
a lot of things going on about potentially being a cop or a detective.
Yes, I remember that.
yeah.
So that was the whole thing. They thought it was originally a detective in
It's
whatever
always seemed
precinct
kind
it
of
was.
shady, the whole thing.
So they had to fucking I think they kind of kept it under wraps. That's why I thought that investigation disappeared, and I even thought that this guy that we're about to pull up, I thought this was bullshit.
You gonna pull up on him? You
I'm
gonna
gonna
pull up on this
Yo, I'm
dude?
about to pull up on him and suck his dick. No, I thought it was
Ooh.
No, I thought it was shit that they were naming this guy. I was like, that doesn't make sense. But then, dude, he literally he was under surveillance since. He ate a pizza and then he didn't eat the crust and threw it away, and the cops picked the crust up, and when they scanned his DNA, it matched with DNA at her dead body, and it was like, all right. You're kind of a fucking idiot. It was like Hannibal when he wipes the wine glass off because he doesn't want the DNA in the wine glass. How do you want it in or out?
Is this architect a serial killer cops have been hunting for 13 years? 59-year-old Rex Hewerman was arrested in a raid on his 11th floor office of this building on Manhattan's 5th Avenue by cops investigating the
Rex, did you do it? Did you chase Dr. Grant and his kids?
notorious Gilgo Beach murders
That
on
would have
Long
been far
Island.
to watch.
Bowerman has been described as an ogre. He's 6'4",
As an ogre.
240 pounds.
Where's
What?
my donkey? What is my donkey? He's
Rex,
been
what-
described as an ogre.
Rex, did you do it? It's not that simple there, News Porter. Ogres are like onions. Serial killers are like onions. How about some parfait? No, donkey.
He first came to the attention of authorities in 2000.
This guy kind of looks like one of those pill bugs. He looks like an unfucking rolled pill bug. Look at him. Pillbug Phillips over here.
22, when it was discovered he once owned a Chevrolet Avalanche, a vehicle that was
Definitely
used
don't
to
see
pick
it,
up one
but,
of the victims.
you know, teach their own.
Prosecutors say
It's 'cause he's got
DNA
big-ass
evidence
bug
on the
eyes.
3 bodies link him directly to the murders. His attorney spoke after his court appearance.
Dude, those pilly bugs,
Is that
take those pill bugs? You know, you're talking about. They take harmful chemicals out of the soil.
Mm-hmm. That's why they're so beneficial. That's why I never understood why people kill them.
Yeah, that's
This-
why it's so weird that you talk about them because I know you fuck them, dude. I know you're
I
into
fuck them. What
Yeah,
I do
dude,
is I
admit
pick,
it. Admit it. You're
I
into
pick
the
all the
pill
pill bugs up. I put them in my fist and I fuck my fist. And then
There you go. Thank
Yeah,
you,
it-
Connor. I
it
appreciate
feels
you
really
so
good, by the
honest.
way.
Thank you.
It's like ribbed condoms, but my dick smells like a garden.
There you go,
afterwards.
everybody. We got the most honest person on the podcast.
This
ever.
dude looks like if somebody did a 3D rendering of Kingpin from the old Spider-Man cartoon. Spider-Man.
Say, as she was in tears, was
When Peter
I don't
Parker
do
was
this.
actually Peter
Court
Parker
documents
and not
reveal
like
Howerman used
one of a
burner
million.
phones to arrange
Yeah.
meetings with 3 of the
Before
victims
before
for
Disney
sexual
took everything over.
encounters.
Yep.
They released these surveillance photos of him buying the phones, and this
You
selfie
know
was
what?
sent to one of the sex
You know what? Let me go back for 2 seconds. I got crucial evidence. that
This
proves-
guy, who is the who? That
First off,
picture-
he looks
that
like
picture-
Peter
oh my
Griffin.
God, dude.
Hey, Lois, you remember the time I murdered that hooker
Oh
out in
my
Gilgo
God.
Beach?
Dude, that guy, you know that guy stimulates the clit like a motherfucker.
Oh, there you go.
Dude,
Right there.
This guy came in a button up. He stimulated the clit like I've never seen before. Girls were coming.
I
left
am
and
convinced.
Fucking right.
I'm convinced after seeing that striped shirt tucked in those pants that he is a fucking serial killer.
photos of
Yeah,
him
that
buying
makes
the
sense.
phones,
I see it.
And this
But he
selfie,
really looks like
which
Peter
is sent to
Griffin.
one of the sex workers. The bodies of 4 sex workers known as the Gilgo 4 were found.
I like they
wrapped
call
in
them
burlap.
sex workers.
Do you remember that? Remember when the Gilgo 4 played fucking Ed Sullivan? It like broke TV.
On this desolate
You know,
stretch
don't
of
even
beach
call them
on
sex
Long
workers.
Island
Just
in
say prostitutes.
2006.
I'm not gonna
Just
care.
prostitutes.
I don't care. I don't care.
We already know what they are.
Yeah.
Police
Times
and
are hard. Be a
hazmat gear
prostitute. Do what you
swarmed
gotta
through
do.
his modest red house
Just
in
don't call them
Massapequa
sex
Park,
workers.
Long Island today, where he grew up. He lives there with his wife and 2 adult children. The house is about 15 miles from where the bodies of the Gilgo 4, all said to be sex workers, were discovered.
The focus for me, members of our
Oh,
team,
Steve Ballone with his
have been
eyeshadow.
on
I forgot all about this
bringing
cocksucker.
justice for these victims.
Just pour. He has like a powdered
Closure
donut.
to
He's
these families
just
who
white
have suffered.
powdered everywhere. His hair, his eyebrows, everything. Just
Aw,
powder up
Chewy, don't
Steve
say
Ballone.
that.
Disturbing 911 call from a sex worker, Shannon Gilbert.
I don't know what Tim Pool is.
Where
Tim
are
Pool's
you,
a-
ma'am? I don't know. You're
Ignore it.
driving right now?
What's Tim Pool?
No,
He's just because of the hat. That's why she's saying that.
No.
But
It was
don't
He's
say
like a
that.
rapist or something. Or
No, he's like a
something
right
weird.
winger guy, but he wears a hat, and that's why she's saying
All
it.
right, thanks, Jewish. I appreciate that.
13-year-old
Appreciate those.
mystery that has riveted
She
the
wrote
world
laugh out loud.
finally has
Sweet,
been
thanks.
solved.
So
All right,
that
well-
is, of course, our guy, and then there's one more.
Was this guy still loco Gilgo Beach, or is this? Oh, that guy's. Ooh, who's the other dude? That other
So
dude is just
I don't know
fucking-
why the New York Post has this fucking video, but yeah, this is it.
Who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been in New York.
These are both
Okay.
weird dudes. This is just a weird
Oh,
interview.
dude! Outside of this interview, if these guys had never met under the circumstances, they would have fucked.
No. They would never have said
Killed?
a word. You could lock them in a room for like 2 years. They would never say a word to each other. They would actually divide the whole room in half and would never talk to each other. They're just so weird. These guys. Look,
You're telling me
they're
that this guy would never talk with Peter Griffin?
No, he wouldn't. He's too weird. It's set up for him. He's lucky that he has a social interaction set up for him because he wouldn't do that on his own.
God damn, I'm sweating like a motherfucker.
Ooh, that sounds good.
where you're from and how long you've been in New York.
Okay. Rex Heuermann.
Oh my
I'm
God,
an
that guy should
architect, I'm
act
an
his age.
architectural consultant. I'm a troubleshooter.
He kind of looks like Dan
He's
Schneider.
not acting his. He's not acting his age by the way he dresses. His hair. He's not acting his age.
He kind of looks like Dan Schneider in Better Off Dead.
No, he wants to be Jeremy Clarkson, but he looks like
And of course, we're returning to
like
Long
a little
Island.
altar boy.
Why?
Yeah. He's
And-
just
And of course, we're on Long Island, where I sat there and killed a prostitute, and Richard Hammond doesn't know that I put her in his body. Jeremy, what's in my trunk?
Shooter.
That's good.
Born and raised on Long Island.
That's pretty fucking
Been
good.
working in Manhattan since 1987.
She's 1987.
He's the fat American. He watched American Psycho once and was like, I'm going to do this. Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's gut.
That's funny. I was.
Why
hoping
did
you
he?
would say-
Hold on, why did that guy? He wheeze laugh, but he wheeze laugh like the German dude from Raiders of the Lost.
Dude, I wheeze laugh all the time. Dude,
Yeah, no,
I'm
but
old,
this
dude.
guy wheeze laugh like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like the dude who goes "Hello, Fraulein," and he puts his hand up. Listen,
I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah. Patience, and I don't like. to
it
use
sounded like that one time that mom accidentally stepped on Comet. He was like,
the word tolerance, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
And it's not just with the city; it's also with the client.
Who is this guy?
an architect.
Is he disabled? I'm just asking.
No, but I feel like he is. I'm sure. You know what? Honestly, it's funny you say that because now I feel like during the trial it's going to come out that he's got Asperger's and they're going to have to let him go. And it's like, Jesus Christ, like, where do we draw the line at a fucking?
Are those smoked Aspergers?
Can I order one black brisket Asperger's, please?
Yeah, I'd be all about that.
But yeah, this is him, man. This is fucking whatever his name is, Rex Heuermann. He's a fucking German boy.
Fucking jerk off.
Yeah, which is great because now I guess we finally have. I really don't care. It's not anybody that has to do with me. It was some fucking bitch from Long Island that was fucking killed. So I could really kind of care less. But I always thought it was a detective. There was years ago, I worked with this fucking lady. I could say her first name. I won't say her last name. There was this woman I worked with named Connor. If you get deployed to Europe, I'm gonna personally kick Biden's senile pants shitting ass. Yeah, Biden signed an executive order that turns the National Guard into active army to go to war with Russia last night, and he's gonna start sending people. I'm not going. I have 6 fucking months left, and it's just not happening because you have to be under contract for more than 2 years. And what would I do? I would just tell him, I'd be like, I'm a black trans woman, and like this is disempowering. What are they gonna do? I'm Rachel Dolezal now. Now I'm the white Rachel Dolezal. I'm the coolest motherfucker in the world. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. God damn it! I really thought I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking about the last story.
Oh yeah. So there's this woman Eileen that I worked with, and I'm going to tell you the story. I can't name the business name because I think that would kind of tie the owner. He was never convicted. But when I tell you what the guy looked like, I think you would kind of recognize it. No, Chewy, you're good. It's fine. That was. I'm glad you're thankful that I'm not going to get sent to fight Russia for no fucking reason. I don't want to die for Zelensky, that fucking midget. By the way,
Zelensky auto parts.
Dude, it's so funny because they have a video of him talking. He's like, "Thank you, America, for sending your money," and you're like, "Why do you sound like every evil Bond villain, you cocksucker?" But yeah. So this woman was telling me years ago. We were talking when they did the update. So this is 2014. They did the first update on the Gilgo Beach shit, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I was stalked by your serial killer in the '90s." And I was like, "Really?" And she was like, "Yeah, Home Depot in Patchogue used to be open 24 hours." And this guy used to come up to me and he used to like kind of fuck with me. And then one night he followed me out to my car and I took off driving during a snowstorm and he came up in a tow truck and he fucking drove me off the road and I lost control, but I was able to get back on and go to the gas station, which was across the street. And when I started slamming on their doors, he took off running and I was like, "Where was this?" And she's like, "Mastic Beach." And I sat there for a second. And I was like, "What year was this?" And she's like 93, 94. I said, "Did he have long white hair, long white beard, and blue suspenders?" And she looks at me and she's like, "Yeah, how did you know?" And I was like, "There's only one guy I knew who drove a tow truck in Mastic Beach, and he owned a workshop right near Paradise. Looking at Paradise to the left, and you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, but he'd have to be born like the early 50s for that.
Yeah, he was. That was that dude. That dude's way older than Dad. He's dead now. He's been dead for I think for a while. He sold up after that happened. He sold his business in 2006. So 10 years later, he sold business up and he fucking disappeared. But the police, her husband was a cop, and they were investigating him, and they didn't have anything to tie to him. No damage on the truck or anything. He just hit her with like a fucking. He had one of those push bars on the truck. He took her off, but apparently that guy was suspected
Like
of
some Jeepers Creepers shit.
yeah. So he was suspected. I like again can't say the business name on the fucking air, but if you look at a Google Earth of Mastic Beach and you find a tow truck company or an auto yard, then do with it what you will. You're my favorite potato N word. Thank you so much. But yeah, that dude was being investigated for being a serial killer. There was never anything about him, but apparently what he used to do was he would strike women from the early 90s to 94 in a tow truck, and he had a push bar and he would ram off the road and shit like that and then do what he had to do, and they never got him, and he was able to get away with it scot-free. And this woman's husband was a cop, and he kind of fucking was on the case for a while, and he ended up dying of cancer. It's 10:28.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, let's fucking wrap it up, man. This was a good fucking show.
Excellent time. Fucking great time.
Even though fucking Joey sat there and came in late and called me her favorite potato N-word. Before we get out there, ticker on the bottom. Hey, listen, if you want to donate, it doesn't matter. I fucking care less, but it's buymeacoffee.com/Culture Vulture Radio. Buy us a beer, buy us a coffee, whatever. I really don't care. Hey, come back. I think either tomorrow or sometime this week. I'm going to be doing I think a Yakuza playthrough chronologically. So it's just trying to keep like watch hours up and stuff like that. So we're going to be starting to do like stuff on the side and shit like that. The next Saturday, we have another show coming up, and hopefully the music juicing and stuff like that. We love you too, Jewish. Good night, Pablo. So yeah, come join us next week and shit like that. And then if you're on Rumble and you're not liking, subscribed, or following, just follow. It doesn't fucking cost you anything. Share this out there and all that shit. Don't be one of those gay app slurs. Because if you are, I'm really upset. By the way, if you don't sit there and Corey Flocksher. Oh yeah, Corey Flocksher's about to go live. You guys should go watch Corey Flocksher. But if you don't donate, then it means you're kind of a hard shit. So be careful with that. Don't want to insult anybody, but I know Julie is, and she can vouch for me, Now, but seriously, thank you everybody for joining us. Glad we got to catch you up on the war of the shitty place I grew up in, Long Island, which is an absolute garbage heap. Cool that they fucking found this dude.
But it's the center of attention, though. It's great.
Yeah. Hold on, Julie. Can you put the link in the chat real quick for Flockstra before we go? I just want to make sure Corey's Sean's doing CBD dabs, since that's legal federally. I'm waiting for Julie to put it in the chat. I don't know if she's going to. Either way, let's see if it pops up on mine. If I get it to it before she does, I just want to put it in the chat because he always supports us. So. Corey Flockstra is a fucking psychopath and a cool fucking dude. So there's the link to his chat. If you guys want to go fucking over there, check it out. Anyway, this has been fucking CVR. Hey, thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging with us. So I hope you enjoyed it, and come back.
Love you all, man.
Yep.
Love you all.
Fucking video game streams. I'm gonna log out of this. I'm gonna go play some fucking video games. Maybe some Mountain Blade Bannerlord. What are you gonna do after this?
I'm gonna eat some food, smoke a little bud, and go to sleep.
CBD bud. You're gonna smoke some CBD bud. Anyway, man, this has been fucking Culture Vulture Radio. Thank you for joining us on this lovely, lovely Saturday evening. Good night, Jewish. Good night, Pablo. Good night, John Diesel. Good night, everybody. Sambo. Fucking.
Don't forget to keep your eyes open. Keep them peeled.
Keep them peeled for my asshole.
Oh no, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open for bullshit. People always spewing bullshit. Keep your eyes open.
You almost sound like George Carlin for a second.
Truth is there.
You always sound like George Carlin. Everybody out there is trying to tell you about bullshit. Keep your eyes open. That's what I do.
There you go.
That was
Keep
a good
'em
George
open.
Carlin. Good night, everybody, and be gay.
Love you.